Good morning everyone. My name is Apar and I am from India, and I have been given this golden opportunity to share my journey in QNET. I have completed my 10 years in this business journey. I come from a middle class background where my father was into government job, my mother was a homemaker, and by profession I am a dentist. I am a postgraduate dentist. I did my schooling from different schools because my father was into government job and there was a transferable job. So sometimes every few months and sometimes in few years, the school got changed. That exposure has I had a lot of talks in the initial time with my father. He used to tell me that study well, do good, get good scores and get a good job. And in the meantime, I realized that I really wanted to become a doctor. And I told my father, I confessed him that I want to become a doctor. And he said, okay, I'll support you in that. Things move for us further. Talking about my career, first I went for my graduation and my father took a loan for a medical, course. And I went for my graduation. I came back and the first job as a medical, doctor I got was at someone's clinic, and he used to pay me 2,500 rupees, which he did not pay me for first 2 months, saying that you are still in a learning process, we'll teach you first. And then I got my salary for 3 months, and after that I quit the job. I said this is not why I became doctor, I should study more. And I decided now I am gonna work on my post-graduation course, and I went for my post-graduation. Then another loan came in, and my father always had this thought process that he would stretch to any limit if it is about kids education. And then I said okay, I went to post-graduation, and post-graduation was the toughest phase of my life. A lot of studies and a lot of things were happening at same time, and I was under a lot of stress at that point in time. I could not take it, I could not cope up. I thought this is the time where this is the toughest phase of my life. And in this time, I got a friend whose name is AVP Brijesh. He met me in my post-graduation days, and this is the time where I spent a lot of time with him. And when I spent time with him, we started socializing. We went to movies together, we went outing together, and that bond really cherished, and that bond flourished a lot for both of us. I did not know what this bond had me for future. I moved out of college, and obviously during my post-graduation one more thing happened, that my course got delayed by 6 months because I could not complete in the designated time. So I thought what would happen to my life. I came out, I started my career as a doctor, working in different clinics in different cities. I used to travel in a lot of local buses and roadways buses across the city, and I would go one day and I would come from one city to another in a bus, then third, then fourth, then sometimes I would use a train to travel, and then I used to come back in another day. And in the meantime, I applied to a lot of hospitals, and I got jobs in hospital and good hospitals. But I realized that if patient was paying 100 rupees, and I would hardly get 20 to 30 rupees out of that 100 rupees. Why? Because despite my knowledge, despite my experience, despite my hard work, everything was still taken over by the hospital. So I realized that now it is a high time to open up a clinic. And then I took another loan so that I could open my clinic. And this was like almost 1 CR plus loan which I took overall to set up my career. And this was the biggest challenge which came in, because every 10th there was an EMI which used to cut from my bank account. And I started, earlier I was working only for hospitals, now I started working for hospital as well as for the banks, because whatever I used to earn, almost 80-90% used to be cut for the EMI purpose only. So I was hardly able to make the ends meet, and I was praying to God, God please help me, God give me something which really can help me, which can get me a little extra source of income. And this used to come every now and then in my mind. I don't know how this happened, but one fine day AVP Brijesh called me and he said, I am planning to start my business and I want you to start with me. And I said, okay, I trust you and I would start with me. I went to see the presentation, and when I saw, I didn't understand much, but I understood that this business has a potential to make a lot of money. And I remember the feeling, it was a feeling that in my childhood days that I used to watch like Aladdin, Genie and the Lamp. And my heart and my eyes lit up, and I knew that very moment that this is it. This business is gonna take me where I really wanted to start my journey. Then next morning, I told my father and my family that I have started a business. And when I told them, everybody was in a panic. And they said, what business have you started? How can you start something without consulting with us? We made you doctors. We had so much of effort to bring you here. How can you? And in the meantime, I told my brother also, younger brother, and he said, what business? I told him QNET. The moment I told him, he started Googling about the business, company, and he said, you are trapped, this business is not going to work. I remember he started sharing the links of, negative media, why QNET not to be started. That moment he used to send me mails, and I said, I trust Brijesh and I will make sure that I will prove my point that this business really works. I went back, I told my upline this all happened at my family end. They said, don't worry, everything will be fine. Just focus on what you're supposed to do. I kept going to association. I kept doing my name list. I kept, finishing my dream list, books, DVDs, everything I was doing. But the results were not coming. After 1.5 months, my brother, he said, I've never seen you so consistent and so passionate about doing something in life. And I just want to go and meet your senior partner if this business is real. And he came back, he saw the presentation for the first time, and since then he never went back. He started working with me, and both of us, we started working. And I remember my journey, 9 months, I was showing plans, not much happened. No business happened. Then the VCon Jakarta, Indonesia came 2012 September. That was the time I was very excited about. The first thing, the first challenge came is let one of us go. So my brother booked the ticket. I thought let him go. But after some time, I realized that I was getting the feeling of left behind. So I booked my tickets. I went to VCon, and whatever my upline told me about the VCon, that V partners, the founders, chief, global, so many countries, everything came true. And I was, my eyes were blinking, there were stars and all around, and that VCon changed the whole perspective of my journey. I came back from VCon, and then what happened is I started working, and I did not get the result immediately after VCon, but my passion and my belief level went to a different extent altogether. I started showing more plans, and in 2-3 months time, the business started growing, and I started getting a team, and I started qualifying for different platforms, and things started changing. And I remember that mid of 2013, I booked my first car, I bought my first car, and that car is real special. Why? Because that gave me the belief system that this works. And after that, there was no turning back. I maxed out, the loans getting cleared, right? All the camps I could do. I could go to all the camps. I qualified for all the camps. And then all the ranks in last 10 years has happened for me. But in this whole journey, what I realized is the most important part for me is that there were challenges all the time throughout the journey. Initially, there were different kind of challenges. Initially, the challenges were so kiddish that people would say, being a doctor, you are doing a network marketing. I used to say that I am doing network marketing because I was doing network marketing before QNET also. Because I used to tell my patient, if you like my work, tell others to come to my clinic. And this has been the basis of every profession in the world. I used to tell. And the only thing what I recollect right now in the long journey is challenges were always there during the max out, during my camp, during any rank advancement, everything, the challenge was there. But what kept me going was I was with the right people at the right time. Right people are my uplines. Right time is when I was not feeling right, and I decided to be in their zone. And that is what helped me sail through all these challenges. More importantly, if I talk about my family life has changed differently. My father, my mother, they are my biggest, supporter to do this business now. Their perspective has changed to different level now. They support me, they support my brother. Both of us, we are working on the same platform, and they are supporters for us. They fly business class, their life has changed, they're so happy. If I talk about my life, my first international travel happened at the age of 31, and my daughter started traveling business car internationally at the age of 6 months only. So my wife is so happy. We are doing great as a family because of QNET, all thanks to QNET. Last but not the least, I want to tell that I'll always be in debt to all my uplines who helped me sail through this path, whether it is AVP Shipra, whether it is AVP Onil. They hold my hands and so that I could pass through. But a special thanks to the person who referred me here, AVP Brijesh and AVP Yashu. They brought me into the business, and this can never be forgotten. And I am so thankful to all of you. And I'm thankful to my brother, V Council Malik, that he supported me throughout the journey. He stood, by my side. I want to thank my team because they were there. Because of them, I am here today. This is a company where the founders make an effort that I don't go on the wrong path. And, the principle of being an in-service, that keeps me grounded. Lastly, I just want to say this, that if I can do this, anyone can do this. It is like I have completed my 10 years. It is the end of 10 years, but it is the beginning of new 10 years. And I just want to say, I am not done yet. I will go further. I will keep going. I wish you all the success, and thank you that you listen to my story. I wish it helps you somewhere in your journey. Thank you so much.